I always tell people, some people come to me and say, my kids make problems in yeshiva. Why? They want to throw them out. Why? The Rebbe say that my kids is a Sheygitz. What does it mean, Sheygitz? Like a goy, annoying. He asks questions of heresy. How do we know God exists? How do we know we really got the Torah? How do we know the oral Torah is from God? How do we know that this story really happened? How do we know nobody added anything to the Torah? How come wicked people enjoy and righteous people suffer? They keep asking annoying questions. Annoying to someone that is not educated. Someone that knows the answer, it's not annoying. He gives a great answer. Some Rebbes, they're very good in Gemara, but they're very bad in explaining and proving that the Torah is divine. They never learned it. They know how to explain Gemara, halacha. When kids begin to ask questions about God, existence, and stuff like that, and how come things don't make sense when we see wicked people make millions and righteous people sometimes cannot pay the electric bill, that's disturbing the Rebbe. So when parents come to me and say to me, I don't know what to do with my son. He cannot block his mouth. He has a lot of questions, and they don't like his questions. They say maybe you should look for him for a different yeshiva. The reality is that it's a very serious crime to do such thing. Because from all the kids in the class, this kid is the greatest out of all of them. Everybody else will say, yes, Rebbe, yes, Rebbe, yes. Whatever you say, I don't ask questions, they are dumb. This kid is smart. He's not just a parrot that repeats what you say. Or a monkey that whatever you do, he imitates you. No. It's very legit that he has questions. It's normal. He's thinking. He has human logic, common sense. He asks good question. How come the rabbi dying from cancer and this drug dealer is already 80 years old driving in a Bentley? If you don't ask that question, it shows that you're a fool. If you say to the student, don't ask question, by ask you don't ask question, that's very stupid education. That's definitely not what Hashem wants. Definitely. Ask. Judaism have the answer to everything. What do you have to be afraid of? The teachers are not ready to teach. Bring them to me, I'll teach them. Bring them to other speakers who knows how to give seminars. There's hundreds of them in the world. Let them teach them. By the way, everything we teach is in the Gemara. All the proofs, the questions about why righteous people sometimes suffer and wicked enjoy, it's all in the Gemara. It's a part of the Gemara. It's not that we teach a different Torah. It just never brought to their attention. I will never forget that 23 years ago. We had a Rebbe, Hasidish Tzaddik, Rabbi Rosengarten his name was. He had a bicycle in Monsey. Everyone knew him. He goes with a bicycle. He doesn't have a car, doesn't have a license. All his life learn and teach Gemara. Holy man, literally holy. Real holy, no, nothing fake. Mamash, holy. Tzaddik, midot. And class, the highest class you can find. The rabbi of the seminar wanted to give him like a gift, a bonus. So he wanted, because he comes to yeshiva of Israeli Baalei Tshuva. He's a Chassid that speaks Hebrew. But he gets the shock of his life, because before he came to the yeshiva, he never saw a Baal Tshuva in his whole life. He grew up with Hasidim. They're all religious from birth. All of a sudden, they see Israeli come to the yeshiva with a big ponytail, jeans, this, that, tattoos. And 6 months later, learns the Gemara like a lion. He couldn't understand. What brings these people here? I have to see. The rabbi told him, don't worry, next seminar we'll get you there. We'll bring you. I'll never forget that. He sat in the last row in a hotel. You know, there's a big place, it's about 150, 200 people. He was the last line. I used to go in and out all the time. In, out, in between. Every time I was on the way to the door, I was sitting right by the door in the last row. I saw him crying non-stop. The whole seminar, tears falling from his eyes. I was very curious. Why is he crying, this tzaddik? Then I came to him, I said, Rav Rosengarten, why are you crying? Everything okay? He said to me, all my life I learned Gemara. And I teach Gemara. And all these things you're showing here on the screen, I learned it dozens of times. And I never realized that these things is a divine proof that the Torah can never be given by human beings. Until I came to this seminar. It made it so clear to me that the Gemara that I learned all my life is divine, not just the written Torah. The Gemara is divine. Meaning, back then he was in his 40s, today I believe he's 65 or more. He's learning about 35 years at least, and it took him 35 years until he came to the seminar, and he now look at the Gemara from a different point of view. Just like this woman from Satmar wrote to me in a letter, I sent it to Siman Tov. She said, I'm a Satmar girl, very religious, but until I met your lectures, I never knew anything. For me, it was like just repeat. Follow, don't ask questions. By us, we were not allowed to ask any question. You ask question, that means you don't have emunah. You have to have simple emunah, follow. Follow instructions. Problem is that in this generation, it's very hard. Because the world was opened up already. You see the heresy everywhere you go. In the synagogue, you have heretic people, heretics. You see it everywhere. A Hasid gets on a flight, who's going to sit next to him? Some Itzi, Kofer. And will begin to attack him. You believe in this? Explain this? What will he know? It's going to shake him up. But if he listens to this kind of lectures with proofs, it will wipe him out in a second.